Used dating apps to eat at five-star restaurants without ever paying a dime, until a quiet guy from work matched with me. I thought he was just another lonely wallop. Until he said, "Actually, I think you suggested this place, didn't you?" That's when I realized, I'd just been played at my own game. I'm Ashley. I'm 24, and I figured out how to eat better than anyone else I knew without spending a dime of my own money. You want to call it using people? Fine. Men have been using women since the beginning of time, so I just flipped the script. I worked some dead-end job that barely covered my rent, but my social life was funded entirely by guys who thought they had a chance with me. Every Thursday night, I'd sit on my couch with a glass of cheap wine and swipe through dating apps like I was shopping for groceries. Except instead of looking for food, I was looking for guys who looked like they had decent jobs and low enough self-esteem to spend big money trying to impress me. The system was beautiful in its simplicity. I'd match with these guys, chat just enough to seem interested but never promise anything concrete, then suggest we meet at whatever expensive restaurant I'd been wanting to try. Always somewhere with cloth napkins and servers who introduced themselves by name. Because if I was going to waste 3 hours pretending to find some boring accountant fascinating, I was getting a proper meal out of it. I had it down to a science: order the most expensive appetizer, the priciest entree, sides, dessert, cocktails, basically treat the menu like a buffet while they nervously picked at some basic sandwich because they were too anxious to eat much. Then, right when the check came, I'd suddenly remember I had an early morning or wasn't feeling well and make my escape while they were still processing what just happened. Most guys were too embarrassed to chase after me or make a scene in a nice restaurant. They just sat there holding the bill, head probably wondering what they did wrong, while I was already in my car planning my next conquest. I kept detailed notes on my phone about which restaurants I'd hit, which apps worked best for finding marks, even personality types that were most likely to pay without question. Divorced guys were absolute gold mines because they were so grateful for any female attention they'd hand over their credit cards without thinking twice. Recent breakups were good too, especially if they were still in that desperate phase where they'd do anything to prove they were over their ex. I wasn't stupid about it either. I rotated through different apps, used slightly different photos, even changed up my bio every few weeks to avoid getting flagged. I had backup restaurants in case someone suggested somewhere I'd already been with another guy. The key was variety and never getting greedy with the same person twice. One expensive meal per mark, then ghost them completely. Block their number, unmatch on the app, disappear like I never existed. Clean and simple. My coworkers thought I was either really lucky with guys or had some secret trust fund because I was always talking about the amazing restaurants I'd been to over the weekend. I'd come in Monday mornings with stories about the incredible sushi place or that new steakhouse downtown, and they'd be so jealous. Little did they know I was basically running a part-time business that let me eat like a food critic on a customer service salary. Casper. This guy I worked with always rolled his eyes when I'd go on about my weekend dining adventures. He was one of those boring, practical types who probably took dates to chain restaurants and split appetizers. I figured he was just jealous that he had to pay for his own food like everyone else. The best part was how easy it was to find new targets. Guys on dating apps are basically walking around with "please use me" signs on their foreheads. They'd swipe right on anyone remotely attractive, then spend